Good morning, all the buttons. Man, I don't know how Akira does it. So many buttons he has. I mean, it's easier because all the buttons are right there, but yeah, a lot of buttons to get a stream started. Welcome, good morning. Another morning word show, a poetry studio of epic proportions. My name is Joseph, and today all the technology seems to be working. This is a very good thing. I didn't get to turn down my light, unfortunately, which I should do. No, that one's good. That's it. There we go. Now we have a more balanced lighting scheme. Sorry for the delay. We had an issue where the alarm didn't go off this morning. Well, the alarm did. We didn't go off this morning. That's a better way to describe it. And I could probably write some pretty interesting poems about struggling with waking up and kind of that feeling of trying to move out into the day after some setbacks yesterday for myself personally. But so is life, so is the way that we move forward, and that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? So we're going to start today with today's theme is children, and what's funny is so the other themes that we've had so far have had double meanings. Scene could be a scene in a video. Scene could also be a scene of a scenic proportion. But with children, it's going to be a little different because two separate ideas are going to connect into children. We are going to be writing poems literally for children in children's voice today, which is exciting and definitely more on the difficult side. Two poems for these final two poems for this wedding couple. I finished a couple of their other poems off stream yesterday. And but yeah, they have some more poems to do. And then on the flip side, we have a poem that we're reading this today, which is very childlike in nature, from Cornell Kossuth, as we continue to celebrate our Poet of the Week, Cornell. So we're going to bring down our audio here, and we are going to switch our screen over to the picture I want to get to. And then I'm going to hit the right buttons and we're going to be there. Exciting! So we now have our poem, The Yellow Shoes, up here, which is Cornell Kossuth's poem. So what does Cornell tell me about this poem? He says, has always had a thing about the red shoes, both the fairy tale and the film, and the idea that they embody transgression. And shoes as well, in general, are all about bringing us from point A to point B. Now, this was about a pair of shoes that the customer had as a child, these yellow cobbler custom shoes that were plateau shoes, and that she really remembers very much as like a fond memory, these shoes. And what's interesting also is that being a child is also a transgression, not in the definition of a transgression as in like a sin or wrongdoing, which is the way that I usually know that word, but a transgression as in a movement from point A to point B. Child is very much the embodiment of not stepping into the same river twice. A child is a growing and exciting journey when you are around them. A child is energy, life, and what you're going to see in this poem, if you haven't already seen it, is that what these shoes are really representing is they're representing that inner potential of the child that was wearing them. Cornell does an amazing job capturing what these yellow shoes meant for this wonderful to-be teacher. So this is The Yellow Shoes by Cornell Kossuth. Made especially for no one, they whispered your name right from the start. enticing you with all the magical places they'd take you if you only put them on. And so you did. In them you became a dazzling drama teacher, the bestest English teacher, always a teacher. For you taught those shoes you wore like a second skin, those awful, garish, styleless horrors, those cobbler's nightmares, what it means to be accepted for who you are, yellow and all. What it means to be accepted for who you are, yellow and all. What's interesting is to bring more into this theme of children, into the theme of transgression and the theme of movement and change, which children so well embody. For me, recently, I have been trying to have a lot of self-acceptance and self-love in the places where it's necessary. And there is a sort of accepting that the journey is it's life is not a journey to a destination, which is the title of a certain secret song out there by a certain secret artist. That life is not a journey. And that what it is that embodying that, like, I don't think it's about it life not being a journey because there's movement, but it's not a journey to always it's not always a journey to necessarily. It's about accepting your traveling, your transgressing, your movement. And children have such a hard time with their self-acceptance because they're all potential and they want to be actual. I remember being a child and having a lot of trouble with that. But here, we see that it's good that the protagonist here becomes an English teacher, and a drama teacher, more especially a drama teacher. Shout out to my wife, a drama teacher. This was actually a really fitting poem, but it's more that you end up getting. Where was I running with that? That it's more about the shoes. And it's more about that. What do we wear on that journey? Are we wearing something bright and beautiful, even if it's not bright and beautiful? Or do we accept our unbeautiful beautiful? Yellow is a powerful color. Yellow is bright. Yellow is sun. Yellow is energy. Yellow is smile. Yellow is sundress. So you can put a lot into yellow. So the fact that these shoes were yellow, I think changed what originally Cornell might have seen in the red shoes. I mean, that color can make everything different. So it's powerful. It's a powerful poem. Unfortunately, the shoes are no longer with us. They got thrown away by her mother. What a shame. But we are celebrating many decades later these yellow shoes. So, as we transition back to, I'm reading comments now. Good morning, buddy. I'm here just working. Gotta make coffee now. BRB. Get at that coffee. I tell you, I'm using coffee this morning as a carrot and a stick. So there's this co-working space, which I actually pay to be at, and I barely ever go. It's like the gym for me. It's like a work gym. Actually, really cool idea that it could be at a work gym. And I desperately need coffee because I had 6 hours, which is usually good for me, but it wasn't enough last night. 6 hours of very fitful sleep, very fitful sleep. And I am going to try to get my work at home done first, out of the way as quickly as I can in the morning so I can get myself to that studio. Max, what are you doing? My dog isn't here with me. So I can get myself to that co-working space and then be able to hang out there and just have my coffee there. So if I can get myself to the coffee space, co-working space, I'll have my coffee. David, good morning. We're doing poems for kids this morning. The poems, so now it's time to get to the commissions, unless you have a particular request that you would like. But yeah, we have poetry for kids this morning. So I have been working the whole week on poems for not kids. I've been working on poems for this couple that was going to get married. I was going to do their wedding, couldn't do their wedding. Good morning, Disco. Now, I finished a couple more of the poems yesterday. Poems about downsizing physically and upsizing emotionally for a couple that moved into a smaller space. A really funny poem, which I actually want to read to you guys, about grandparents being proud of their children getting married. But today we're going to be writing two poems, one about a 22-year-old godson and one about a Caden's twin brother who is old enough to possibly understand the words here. So the thing about writing poetry for children is it takes my vocabulary, it shrinks it. And I've got to think about whether I want to write something for them when they grow older, or if I want to write something for them that is something that they will be able to enjoy as children as well. So there's a difficult tension there with that. But first, a little bit of humor. What I'll do is I'll pause the music so that we can go back to that same song once I finish reading this poem, since we have a shout out to the music from Wind City Chest. All of these songs, of course, are Akira the Don instrumentals. There we go. So this is a poem for the groom's grandparents, who he names, goodness gracious, words, Joe, who he fondly calls Nana and Granddaddy. The poem is about grandchildren getting married. Eric is the first of their grandchildren to wed. And this poem is entitled, Look at Those Kids. Next. Scratching yourself. It's being weird. Look at those kids. In my day, we would never. What in the world? Why are they doing? Those kids of kids making a wonderful scene. Each generation passing by us to become more free. But we couldn't be more proud of those punks, having sunk all our expectation. Their smiles echo something. Their first foray into the finality of forever. Gee, is it grand for us to be grand? For them. Hey, his eyes. Her hair reminds me a little bit of we. Where in my day we share their heart. We would never doubt them. What in the world did we do to deserve the why we are all feeling today? Where in my day we share their heart. We would never doubt them. What in the world did we do to deserve the why we are all feeling today? I wanted to repeat those last lines because they have a certain cadence to them that's very that's good. So yeah, and that one was a really fun one to write because I love the contrast of the grandparents in awe of the modern world, but also seeing themselves within it. So that one is a fun one. All right, now let's bring back our music. There we go. All right. So this poem is going to be for the bride's godson, who is her best friend's son. Poem about being a godson or a godson-godmother relationship. I don't see them all the time because they live far away, but we do the best we can. So, godson has kind of two meanings. This one is one of the reasons why I kind of put it off because I didn't want to. These were difficult when I was working on some of these, and I was like, you know what? want to. So I didn't want to make a big. I didn't want to have to work on them without accountability. So Godson. There's first the official title of Godson, which within at least the Catholic faith, as I know it, is someone that's supposed to be guiding you outside of the family or within the family, specifically as someone that you have a special connection with for being born and guided in the faith. But that meaning is not as strong as it is currently in today's world, which I can still pull some of that energy if it thematically works. But what it really means is that someone, for her, it really means someone outside the family that is has a special connection to that child. And so she is the one outside the family and is the godson to this child. So let's see what we can do with that. Now the question here is for this 22-month-old, do I write a poem that he will be able to read in a few years? Or do I write a poem that just captures the energy and is more of a celebration of the parents? And my thinking is that I'm probably going to lean towards an older poem. It might be different for the next one. So I have decided not to use a child's voice on this. Godson, godmother relationship. So, Twitcher Alex says, back with the liquid of life. Cheers to the coffee. Coffee's, we should probably get a coffee emoji for this stream. And again, shout out to everybody seeing each other in the chat. I do like this as a place where some people that are like getting to know each other or do know each other already just can kind of hang out. Call this the kind of the pre-show, the pre-game for any Akira streams if you so desire. It's a cool place to hang out, and I do appreciate you guys all being here. So we were talking about plugging my stream in the Discord, whether we were going to keep my time or do a different time. And it might not be a bad idea to keep the time frame because people could swing by as a pre-show before Akira streams. And I'm still thinking about it, and I hate to be the guy that's just kind of procrastinating on that. But there are real benefits to both having the stream before or after Akira's. I could get to engage with a more widespread American audience at 10 o'clock, but 7 a.m. This helps me roll out of bed, roll into poetry. And we were speaking about that yesterday as well. Disco, definitely. That is so cool that you guys were speaking about that. Oh no, the caps lock got you. I read your message like 3 times. I was like, what is going on with disco in that message? But I see that you were captured and nearly destroyed by the caps lock god. That would be a funny poem. As we continue our foray into discussing deities, which we've had humble god and ketchup god. We could have a caps lock god on the stream. That'd be cool. Caps lock is not a god, it's the devil. A demonic caps lock slipping in there, and it's like, you know what it's like? It's like when I don't know if you've seen the Lord of the Rings movie, but I'm thinking of the Fellowship of the movies, I should say, but the Fellowship of the Ring, and I think it's Galadriel who is the elf, and she is like prophesying at a certain point. Like she's just like talking, like she's talking to the hobbits, and then suddenly her voice becomes like insane and angry and deep and dark. That's like what caps lock is. Like it's you just like, it's almost like you like, it's your face like it starts yelling like randomly in the middle of the sentence. And I've done it before too. It's funny. So. To be a godmother. Speaking of wonderful, holy things. Oh. So I've been watching the replays, Twitchero Alex of Akira the Dawn, and it's very exciting to hear that he said that throughout December he's going to be dropping more of the instrumentals. I didn't get to catch Dune Wave last night, but instead, believe it or not, last night I was listening to the Studio Ghibli set because I was late to Dune Wave, and I just figured I would catch the replay later on. So, cool announcement for everybody here. We're going to have more instrumental music coming in December because we'll be able to continue featuring Akira's stream. Yeah, December is going to be insane with everything that he's releasing during that month. Album after album after album. Christmas merch dropping this week as well. I think I have to admit and confess that I am not that much of a merch guy when it comes to Akira. It's just, limited finances and stuff, but I most certainly need a Meaning Wave Christmas sweater. And I think that that's going to be my garb for the season. Hopefully there'll be some parties that I'll be able to wear it to. I've also thought about whether I'm going to start integrating more Christmas music into these streams. And I actually think that it'd be really cool to create a hybrid playlist of both traditional Christmas hits and Akira hits that might be more instrumental. We will have to see. I also don't want to become a department store. My dog now has this thing when he scratches himself, he absolutely bangs the floor. Like that, Max, I'm literally scratching you. He didn't get his walk this morning because of our late wake up. Can you go on your bed at least? Thanks. You guys actually haven't met Max. Let me introduce Max, since we have a full house here. Max, can you get up? Whoa, you're good, you're good. He must have just been lifted up a little bit. This is Max. We got him settled in. You okay? You're okay, buddy, right? It was just awkward trying to lift him up from the chair. Say hello to everybody, Max. You want to type on the typewriter? He is a 7-year-old Pomeranian. He is the cutest thing in the world. Right? All right, let's get you back down. Okay, back down. Yep, that's Max. He's cute. He's always hanging out in here under my feet. There was one of the other DJs had a camera pointed at his cat that he could switch to if you paid enough points. And I'm thinking about having something similar for the dog. But that is a long-term. Oh yeah, DJ Codis, yeah, with the cat. So I'm thinking that's going to be a long-term incremental improvement. Perfect. Perfect. This one came out pretty well. And then I think I'll read first. And then I love this JVP song. So, this poem is entitled Godson. I forgot to switch the camera back after I picked up Max. Godson. Your mother and I giggled through school day halls, have plenty of ways to say when we were your age. And nearly 2 years on, each time we traveled away down to Georgia, you steal my soul with the wonder of angelic, nostalgic light. To be a godmother is to find a celestial tether to a best friend's son. To know that someone is watching over from the Shenandoah Hills. To have the special guidance this friend, aunt, ally can give through family stress. To have someone endearingly enamored at the super cute channel of joy you will be. To see in thee the friend of my youthful living, and to add to the bounty of love as your adopted maternity. I think adopted maternity is one of the best lines in that. Because to be, and it might not come off clearly, like if I had another draft, I'd probably work it a little bit. Maybe adopted as your maternity. But the fact is to be a godmother is to be basically to be adopted into motherhood. Now you are not a mother, and now you are a mother. But you are not a mother by blood. You are a mother by this more divine connection. I think that's really cool. So, Caden has a twin brother. And first time I was reading this, I didn't read twin. But the thing is this has a lot more of personal notes to it. And this young boy's name is Alex. He is so basically. It looks like that where the bride-to-be's godson, she has a connection with that twin. It looks like the uncle has a connection with the other twin, not necessarily a godson twin. Basically, it seems like that what I'm getting from these, actually more so than anything else, and this second poem is going to reflect this more, is that these to-be-married kids, really, this wonderful couple that's getting married, have been kind of proxy living out motherhood and fatherhood through these godson friends, children's relationships. Because it says that the groom-to-be plays with this kid, makes him laugh, feeds him, changes him. It's precious is the words that she uses to describe this. So let's get to writing a second poem and let us conclude this amazing collection here of poems. And Max, will you not be rude for the people on the stream? He's giving me this look. It's very hard to be angry at this dog. He's a wonderful little dog, and he will soon get his walk, but not right now. Yes, if you sit patiently. All right, let's bring back our background. Oh, this is a beautiful song. And go to our typewritten camera. Ooh. Huh. Paper just did a little jolt there, messing up the title. We're not going to let that stay. I already have the theme of this poem already spelled out in my head. Spoiler alert, it's going to be about how the joy that they're sharing in these kids is symbolic of what's coming for future. That's kind of the idea here. That you don't walk around doing these things if you did not have an innate joy about being a husband and future father. This is something pretty special. I'm assuming they want kids. So you see, that's the funny thing about my discipline, is you're always taking these pretty insane risks on assumption of family beliefs and values. Like right here in this poem right here, I'm going to assume that this couple wants kids. There's a lot of couples that don't want kids, and they're within their rights not to want kids. So it's not a question of right or wrong, it's more of a question of I'm taking an assumption of the general world at large and attempting to build something artful from it. It's very much like trying to bet on the stock market, because when it doesn't go right, then it turns into it would definitely tarnish the piece. So, but I live for that risk. I'm very glad for that risk. Let's see if I can get you up here. Come on. Let's see if I can get you up here. No, you don't want to get up there. Okay, then go to your bed. Here, bed. Go to your bed right there, because then if you scratch yourself, it won't bang on the floor. No, next. Pat your head. Let's see if I can type the poem and scratch my dog at the same time. No, I can't. Now I want to restart this. And if we do make this as a good pre-show for the Akira show, then we'd be able to do, if my dog would not do that, we could set it up that people can come in here, they can grab poems, we can have vibes and energy, and and then just roll right into it. The Akira show. And of course, we'll also be occasionally rolling to the disco show as well. Like we can kind of split between two. I don't know how I feel about rolling into the other writers as much. I'm not necessarily against it. I'm just not necessarily for it either. But you see here, I'm already making a mistake. It's for Alex, so I can't go the direction I was going with that. I could write a great poem for the groom about how he's a great fun uncle. I have to change the entire theme of the poem. You're just tuning in. I am writing poems for a pair of 22-month-old twins. I've written one for one, and I've written one for the other now. I could have also made these poems a little more mirrored, but to be perfectly honest, I did not read the first time around that they were twins. I don't think that takes away from what the art will be. I always wonder whether I should show people, like send these videos to people, so that they can see the process happening. Like, I don't know if it's really like a behind-the-scenes thing. And we still started title of the Funkle. I'm having some writer's block on this one. As of recent, I've been having writer's block. I think it's just because I've been stressed out and pretty busy. I need to figure out a way to appreciate life as a journey more. Life is not a journey. Just appreciate life for what it is. I can't tell if you guys are not disturbed by my dog's insistent scratching of himself on the hardwood floor. And on cue, like I just mentioned that. What is it that you've got going on? There you go. You are very... maybe you've got something going on there, because you're scratching yourself a lot there. And you should be really happy when I'm scratching you. Is it because of this? Okay, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, we'll try to clear that out later. You're not gonna enjoy that. I didn't even know you had a dog. We have to do a dog introduction when we finally have our Zoom meet. Okay, here we go. I already got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, my brain is not awake. That is a pretty rough typo. I can't fix that. This is, what you're seeing here is you're seeing me go through more pieces of paper than I would have ever expected to go through. Wow, this is not a good foreboding for the day, but I will push through and persevere. I want to get this done before the Akira stream. We can actually rate the Akira stream with the level of people we have, I guess, but... Alright. Let's try that again. And not mix up words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost did it again, but this time I stopped myself. You may be asking, is my dictionary. Show me my thesaurus. No. There's a lot of poems in this collection about family and friends crossing those divides. Family being friendly and friends being very familial. It's a good theme. And I might have even repeated this sentence in another poem. Looking up something real quick. This was what I wanted. I'm not cheating. I'm just looking up a list of the words that start with the letter A. Twitcher Alex, see ya, man. I will see you soon in the Akira stream. Yeah, this poem this morning is just taking a little longer for me. Thank you for tuning in. I'm near the end here. Gotta get this. Goodness. And we gotta put my name in. Alrighty, and that's it. Let me read it. And then we just have disco in here. We could do like a 2-person raid disco into the Akira stream. I think I'll just pop over to the Akira stream after I finish this up. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you for Twitcher Alex, who has already left. Thank you for Wednesday Chess for popping in for the earlier part of the stream. And thank you for Disco, as always. Really appreciate the support. Really appreciate you guys being here. And I'm so glad that you guys do enjoy this and get a kick out of it. I, would be more than glad to keep doing it and just, be able to share that poetry. A is for awesome. From the start, you both know it best. A is for the adorable, adventurous attention this playing second father loves to give. Acting with all true love and changing and feeding you. Crossing across the familial divide to find your laughter is attractive to the actual point of absolute wonder. Start of the alphabet game makes lame this grown man. He sees in you abounding futures of his own auspicious heart. An appreciation to have the sensation of child laughter naturally sought after. And after these years pass, when this verse missive finds your hands, you will know your heart aglow as warm so in unremembered years by this uncle, a fun friend always. That worked very well, actually. That really touched me. I don't want to come off as weird when I get a little emotional after I write something. A lot of times I'm in the work of it, and I'm like, I gotta put this letter here, gotta put this word here, gotta find these words, gotta find a random list of A words and try to make it all work. And I heard a poet once tell me that not that I say it's good, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing if I'm surprised by my own work. Because then it means that I'm in the depth of it when I'm working on it. I'm not, this is not the poem. It means that I'm really just doing the grunt work of it, and then when it comes out, it comes out. want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm going over to the Akira stream after this, but I'm going to close out this stream. Thank you so much, Disco. Thank you, everybody watching on the replay. Really appreciate it. You all have a wonderful day.
Akira.